With more gyms and exercise solutions than ever before, and obesity rates going through the roof, it's clear that more does not equal better. In fact, the opposite is true. It seems the older we get, the busier we become, and the less time we have. The last thing we want to do after a day's work is to spend our entire evening in the gym. But one thing's for sure, our body and health are super important. But what if we could work out less and still make gains? Well, that's exactly what I've done over the last 3 years, and the results are promising. So in this video, I'll reveal 3 highly effective training habits I use to build more muscle without having to spend hours in the gym. And at the end, I'll give you one powerful tip you can start using today for more efficient gains. First, these habits have the potential to change your body and life, but you need to know why these habits matter. By 2019, there were approximately 41,000 health clubs in the US, a steady increase since 2010. You might think, well, this is a good thing. In contrast, obesity rates were at 41.9% in 2020, which has more than tripled since 1960s. So it begs the question, why haven't more gyms led to lower obesity rates? What's the missing link between gym memberships and actual fitness? Or perhaps it's us, the consumers. Where are we going wrong? While there's no straightforward answer, we can only assume. And before I reveal the first habit to help you maximize gains in less time, there's one deadly mistake most people make. It's that longer workouts equal more results. They think this is the only way to make gains. But even if this is true, is it sustainable in the long term? Be honest, do you want to spend half your life in the gym? Probably not. That's why these 3 minimalist training habits are extremely important, not just for being efficient and effective in the gym, but also for your long-term health and well-being. Imagine being able to work out in just a fraction of the time and still make significant gains. How would that change your life? Speaking of changing lives, this first habit has the potential to do just that. When you first started working out, chances are you focused solely on lifting the weight up. And as you got more comfortable, you increased the weight, and of course, this got you some gains. So you kept doing what worked. Fast forward a few months or years, and you struggled to consistently build muscle. And it wasn't by chance. For example, let's say you earn $1 an hour. Very minimal and realistic. But the better and more efficient you get at your job, the more you get paid. Let's pretend this next habit can get you $2 an hour. Life-changing. You could potentially work half as much and still make the same amount of money. And that's exactly what this first habit can do. Here's how it works. Imagine you're doing bicep curls for 10 reps. By the time you get to the 8th rep, it starts to feel really hard. But let's say you only just make the 10th rep after squeezing your guts out. Most people will quit here, and that's where they get it wrong. You see, at rep number 10, you haven't yet failed. Perhaps the 11th rep was actually possible. Maybe even the 12th rep. So rather than stopping when you think you're done, try for another rep. Give it all you got. And if you fail, that's when you know you're done. This is a highly effective and efficient way to make more gains in less time. It's called training to failure, but be careful when doing this without protection. I meant the railing on the side. But hang on, did you see that? That's a common mistake a lot of people make, making you less efficient and effective in the gym. That's why this next habit is a perfect fix for that. But first, let me show you what not to do. So you're doing a shoulder press. The weight is challenging, but not insanely hard. If you're trying to build muscle, that's what you want to aim for. But you see this? This is not challenging. There's no real tension in the muscles. This is challenging. But the key here is that when you push up, that's called the concentric phase. When you start to reverse the motion, this is called the eccentric phase. And that's where the money is made. A lot of people simply drop the weight. You don't want to do that because you're simply leaving money on the table. Instead, you want to control the weight down for 2 to 3 seconds, as long as you're not letting the weight drop without any control. It's also dangerous when you do that. Very simply, what happens is when you control the weight down, your muscles are working against gravity as well as the weight. It's like stretching an elastic band, and because it's pulling against you, eventually it will start to tear, and that's how muscle is made. But remember, just a moment ago, we were pushing to failure and something else happened. This rep here, this is where we fail. And as you can see, we dropped the last rep. There was almost no control on the way down. It's like eating an apple, but only eating the skin. It's wasted nutrients. The same thing here. It's wasted gains if you're not controlling the weight down for every rep, as well as training to failure. The key is when you reduce your workout time, every rep counts. And that's why this next and final habit is a must. It's what I call the Swiss Army knife of minimalist training, and it's also one of my absolute favorites. Deciding what exercise to include in your workout routine can be as simple as choosing what's easy or fun, but that may come at a cost. The cost being more time spent in the gym, because you're simply not seeing the results you want. It's like working hard, not smart. But that's not why you're here. You see, there's a difference between doing pec flies and bench press. They both work the chest, but if you were to choose one, you're better off with the bench press. Not just because everyone does it, but because the pec flies simply work one main muscle group, your chest. Whereas the bench press is a far more effective and efficient exercise, because during the movement, you're using a whole lot more than just your chest. You're engaging your triceps and the front shoulder, and perhaps a few others, but these are the main ones. So it pays to spend a little more time thinking about what exercises to include and exclude. It's like deciding what to throw out and keep. It's not an easy decision, but it's worth it if you can save time and maximize gains. And these exercises that work multiple muscles are also known as compound movements. They're a must, along with training to failure and controlling the eccentric. These three work together to create a far more effective and efficient workout routine. But it doesn't stop there. If you want to save even more time and further maximize your gains, I suggest getting a copy of my Ultimate Workout Guide. It's completely free. To get your copy, click the link below, enter your email, and get instant access. But I mentioned earlier that longer workouts don't necessarily lead to more gains, but there's something else that does. It's a simple change that allowed me to build a better body than 99% of people. Check out this video here, where I show you what it is and how you can make the change you need to achieve your ideal physique sooner.